Good evening, welcome back here for the fourth and final game here tonight for the excellent Moscow Cup. Empire will take on Meteor Makers here for the round-robin group stages. And this is a match between the top two contenders of the group so far. Empire lost 2 of their matches, but Meteor Makers have not lost a single one just yet. We're going to see if they can keep that up. Of course, once again, I'm joined by G Advance, my co-caster. Welcome back.
Yep, good to be here, and good to be here for 2 of the strongest teams in the tournament so far. Meteor Makers still haven't dropped a game this tournament. Team Empire, maybe they're the ones to do it, because Team Empire, they have a pretty good record up versus Meteor Makers so far, but they've dropped games in this tournament, so, you know, maybe not.
Maybe not. It's going to be a tough one for them, or at least, you know, so far they have played 7 games. This is Empire, 1-5, lost 2, which in itself is a pretty decent result. However, if you consider them one of the top teams in Europe, and I think that we are, they should not be dropping games in a tournament like this. It's best of 1, so anything can happen, so you have to be prepared for that. But apparently Meteor Makers was prepared for the best of 1s and have not dropped a single game. And therefore, if they are able to beat Empire here, Empire is actually not secured for a spot in the playoffs, in the LAN finals in Moscow. And that's a big deal. A very big deal, actually.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, especially because, like you said, this is normally a tournament. You look at the competition, you go, okay, Empire, probably the strongest team there, without any real doubt. But yeah, best of 1s, I think, favors some of these more unstable teams as well that you haven't practiced strategies against. A lot of the very big teams, you see teams play a lot of big best of 3s, sometimes even best of 5s versus them. Everybody sees those games, you know, everybody's going to be watching the videos afterwards of them. Not as many people are watching the videos of Meteor Makers or Aware or a lot of other teams in this tournament, and because of that, they're able to surprise them. And Meteor Makers here, apparently, they think it as well. Treant Protector, it's a hero that only certain teams pick up, but so far, when it's been picked up, it's been very powerful. Leech Seed, in particular, is a crazy good laning stage damage nuke that heals your teammates as well. So very good for turning things around and just snowballing within the lane.
Yeah, we've actually seen Treant being used in an aggressive tri-lane or dual lane before. Very successfully, secretly, I'm hoping, well, apparently it's not that secretly anymore, but I'm hoping that Meteor Makers is going to play it that way. Personally, I haven't seen them play that way before, though, so...
I personally prefer it in the aggressive role as well, because it means that you guarantee, because the thing is, Treant, he's not a very mobile hero. He's got nice movement speed, but that's about it. He's not going to be running all over the map trying to gank. He's going to want to be in the lane that he wants to try and kill people in. So putting him up on the safe lane, kind of like, it's a bit of a waste of time. Yes, he's still good passively because of living armor, but ultimately, Leech Seed is still a 300 damage spell. It's a 300 damage over time that heals your team for that amount as well. So yeah, that's pretty major, and it's a 28% slow. It's a very, very powerful skill.
Well, pretty major as well, as that Lycan actually made it through to the dire side on the second pick that they had. And
wow.
Yeah, with that, I mean, we might be in for the same kind of Lycan that we saw the previous game coming out from Rockskis. Very scary hero. And even though last game we saw that there was no real counter carry, or at least or secondary core carry for Rocks, or at least not as clear as Mirana is, but Empire secured themselves Mirana, which makes me interested to see who's gonna run what, because Silent, actually both Silent and Resolution have played Mirana a lot, though I prefer Silent playing Mirana. Resolution Mirana, definitely a treat to watch as well, so I guess that's already answering my question. Resolution going for mid Mirana, with Silent most likely on the Lycan safe lane. Might be having aggressive tri-lane. I hope that we do, because Lycan can do okay by himself, depending on what Meteor Makers, of course, pick up. Meteor Makers, they selected 2 supports, well, we are going to assume are supports at this point. And...
No, it's a carry Treant, man. Yeah. That's, I mean, 80-odd base damage. Why the hell not? Sometimes stuff like that is, like, almost viable, to the point where maybe in a best of 1 it's doable. And certainly, the thing is, even though Meteor Makers have probably been... You know, they've been doing a lot better in this tournament, they probably still feel like the underdogs versus Empire here. So maybe it's a possibility. Honestly, stuff like that, I wouldn't even be surprised if they put the Treant as a core in a lane. Because if he gets early farm, obviously, I mean, you're not going to actually go carry items on him, but you can get very early, like Arcane's mech, something like that, and just fight early on. And I mean, Team Empire with the Lycan, he will do some split pushing, he'll punish that, but Meteor Makers, if they produce enough damage in just one lane, that could work out well for them.
I could work out well for them. Sorry, I just read a funny tweet from Milk that I actually want to share because
you have to share it now.
I have to share it now because Dog doesn't
you can't
haven't
tease
announced
everybody with
well,
it.
Team Dog hasn't announced their sponsor yet, right? And they just won from Navi and Dream League. Spoiler. And then Milk tweeted, Navi met their makers. They played counter logical, almost cursed. But now we know who is men and who is mice. Bringing your pajamas. It's awesome. You got Mouse, Ninjas in Pajamas, so CLG, awful. Curse, MYM. It's funny. It's just,
oh my god.
It's a good tweet.
The funny thing is, right, is like all the like Dota only people in the chat will be like, what's the pajamas thing? Because that's Nip is
that is Nip is yeah.
Nip is League of Legends and CSGO as well.
Are they League of Legends as well? I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure they have a League of Legends team. I have a League of Legends friend, and I think he's mentioned Nip before.
Okay. Well, I only know
that game is dumb though. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, sorry. That was a bit of an excursion outside of this game.
No, totally worth it.
But it's a good tweet.
Malcolm's a funny man.
We are gonna see Clockwork picked up by Major Makers. I think that's a good one to have if you wanna go toe to toe against a Lycan. You wanna hold him in position. So if Clockwork gets an initiation off on him, that's a good one to have. You have to be ready to force stab yourself out of your own cogs, though, because stuck in there with a Lycan is going to get you killed in return. And actually, also, if Leshrac is around, he's going to stun you to get you stuck in your own cogs, so Lycan can kill you in your own cogs if he is lucky enough. They have got some nice, like, both Leshrac and Mirana at this point have got a setup, or have got a stun, like arrow / split earth, that thrives off of a Shadow Demon or Bane, and both are still in the pool. So that's actually
and Beat Your Maker's not banning them as well. So yeah, I feel like most teams, they would, whenever Mirana is picked up or one of the others is picked up, you try and ban out the heroes that can do well from that. So yeah, Shadow Demon, it's a simple pick for Team Empire. It's an easy pick for them. MYM probably know it's coming, but it's dangerous to let through. It's very strong versus most of the heroes here. Even the DK in the middle lane, he can get ganked up by this, and DK is a notoriously difficult hero to kill. The fact is that Leshrac Shadow Demon is just a straight, very strong combo right now, and with Leshrac getting a minor buff to his Lightning Storm, he has that little bit more utility, because previously it felt like Lightning Storm was just one of those spells where you were like, it's kind of good, but like, it's nuke damage, you know? And nuke damage is nothing special or individual. A lot of heroes have that. You can kind of like Edict, but then Edict is also very unreliable. So glad that hero actually got a little bit of a buff, and we're seeing him a lot more right now, which is nice. I mean, he's only been with Shadow Demon though, right? I don't think we've seen him in any other... I can't think of a game where I've seen him just picked sort of on his own.
No. I have to say, I'm kind of worried for Major Makers right now. I like their lineup, don't get me wrong, but they gave so much away by picking that Treant and a Rubik first, because I don't think Empire was planning on picking that up, just at all.
Or probably planning on banning them either. They're not normal heroes to be banned.
Yeah, so, because, you know, if you're going to ban a support against Empire, might as well make it Ancient Separation and Dazzle is still in the pool as well, so it's kind of surprising. Maybe they picked them up intentionally, obviously they picked them up intentionally, but to try and keep the rest of their strategy a secret until now.
That might be it. I mean... if that is true, it's very reliant on this last pick for them. Puck is taken out of the pool, so could be... well, Puck does do very well versus the Dragon Knight, but if he is going to be in the middle lane, for me, it's all about what's going to go with this Treant Rubik, because I can't feel like it could be the Clockwork or the Dragon Knight. Those two don't really make sense with it, if it's going to be an aggressive tri-lane or not as well, because if it is... the worrying thing for them is that probably one person is going to get immediately blown up in their tri-lane, and theirs doesn't have too much damage right now. Treant is damage over time, although he does right-click very hard. Rubik, of course, is mostly set up for a teammate, so... I mean, maybe even something like a Razor, it is very powerful in the laning stage versus a Lycan. He's got a lot more strength as well now, so I think that could be a viable pick. It's not a hero we see very often, though.
No, I'm not entirely convinced about it. I mean, it could work out, but the downside would be that, you know, if it doesn't work out, it's going to be shit for the rest of the game. Because it does need his items.
Yeah, Razor is definitely one of those heroes who he needs mech, BKB, and something else as well. So that's a fair amount of items just going into survivability. And of course, once Lycan's got up his ulti, the static link doesn't do very much versus him. It would be good in the laning stage, but it's very dangerous to go up against Leshrac, Shadow Demon, Lycan in the laning stage, because, oh look, we saw that like 2 minutes ago in the last game.
Whoa.
And actually gonna be a Necrophos. What the... Alright, this is like some sort of weird damage over time strat. I don't even know anymore.
This could work out though, if he gets himself tanky enough. If Dragonite's gonna go mid and Necrophos is gonna go safe lane farming.
Just push from that point on. Yeah,
just
I like
get,
it. But...
get a fast mech up, get a Heart or a Vanguard or something stupidly tanky. And even Lycan at some point won't have enough damage.
Ags is very good.
Ags. Kill Lycan once,
it's very good
don't have to
upgrade
deal
now.
with buyback.
The big problem with Necrophos is his laning stage is kind of weak. You need to like work around him. It's very unique, and he needs a lot of levels. He needs a fair amount of farm. He's no support hero by any stretch. The person who put support on his goddamn hero card, horrifying. He's not a support. He's definitely a carry. He needs farm, and his level 1 ult is useless as well. It does so little damage. You basically have to have them on around 300 HP for it to do anything, which basically makes it an average nuke. But Empire, the last hero here, is going to be Venomancer. I guess if you want a counter-pushing core hero, Venomancer's a good one.
Well, Empire thought, you have damage over time, we're going to have damage over time as well. Mag will be the Venomancer, so that's an offlane Venomancer. And it's perfect, because if that Necrophos is going to be on that bottom lane, he at some point wants to start pushing, as you mentioned, and he's just going to place wards. The Venomancer is going to be able to stop that push from happening and buy enough time for Lycan to get huge. And at this point, hardest carries in the game are going to be favoring Empire because they've got Mirana and Lycan, and Dragonite and Necrophos are both okay, sure. But in terms of carry potential, it's going to be going the way of Lycan and Mirana. And if Venomancer therefore delays long enough, then Empire will be looking quite solid in their draft. However... Meteor Makers, they've got a plan, and I am, for one, thinking that they could definitely carry this out if they play this properly, for sure.
Yeah, if they execute this well, it'll be very interesting, because Necrophos, not a hero we've seen very often. There was like I remember there was like a month period where NA Dota was just filled with like love for Necrophos, but I think it would, at the time, it was maybe a bit misplaced. It looks like they'll go on the safe lane here, probably just trying to secure the laning stage for this Necrophos, but there's no reason Empire can't go aggressive themselves, whether it's with Resolution, whether it's with anybody else. Well, any of their core heroes can actually be the core in this aggressive tri-lane.
Yes, and at this point...
this is very dangerous for them.
With Mag already rotating top, I think we have our answer. Empire, indeed, aggressive tri-lane, perhaps for them.
Interesting.
And they put Resolution on the Lycan and Silent on the Mirana. So, normally it's the other way around when these two heroes are played for Empire. But... I mean, against a Dragonite, any melee, any hero can go mid against him. So I like it a lot.
He's got a big base damage advantage as well. So yeah, this makes a lot of sense to put Resolution on the mid lane. He'll eat up all that farm versus the DK, and like you said, DK, a melee hero, not one that can do much in the way of harass. The thing with DK is you put him there normally when you look at the enemy team and you go, okay, they've got like an SF or something, or like a pooled Queen of Pain or a TA, you look at it and you go, we just want a hero who's useful in the mid game. We can't beat that lane. We don't want to try and pick something to beat that lane. We're just going to throw a DK in it, and the bad situation is when the enemy team does that as well, with a hero who can potentially do more during the mid game. And Lycan, arguably, much stronger in the mid game for pushing towers and for doing damage as well, although he doesn't have any stun lockdown like DK does.
Yeah, nice already counter ward coming out from MYM, so they'll have to deal with one last observer ward. The last one is on the top lane, so I don't think they're going to find that, but nonetheless...
Wow, Link has actually rotated top. They've seen this aggressive tri-lane possibility coming out from Empire, and they're actually dodging it here, which I think is very smart. It does mean that Crit is going to have a hard time, because there's no way he can get himself XP.
Well, probably Crit's going to be rotating top.
Maybe he'll do the pull. Maybe he'll do the pull here. He'll do this, I think. Yeah, he's going to do this pull here. This is a smart option for him. It does mean that Ace is completely out of position here and is going to die at any moment's notice, but hopefully he does okay. Do we want to go through the lineups now?
Yep, let's take a look who's playing what. Empire here for the Dire side. We'll have Mag on their solo safe lane for the moment. Mid lane has got Resolution, and he's playing Lycan. So that should be a good one to watch as well, as it looks like Mag is just going to get punched. In the bottom lane, it was a aggressive tri-lane. Silent here on the Mirana, supported by Vanscore. But they actually rotated, always want to fly out, knowing that they wouldn't get that much done on the clockwork, and always want to fly as Leshrac is moving back towards the top lane to try and help out Mag, who is seemingly having a tough time. And he went for Poison Sting for level 1. That's not something that you see every day, but it's better for harassing, if you will. So we'll see if he is getting the max of that one. He does quite a bit of damage to Biceps.
Yeah, level 1, if you can't get yourself a kill, you get Poison Sting every time. Because if you can get a kill, you get Gale, obviously, because it's very useful for your team. It's a great slow, one of the best in the game. Used to be the best level 1 skill in the game by a pretty big margin. Got nerfed a little bit, but still very strong. And, you know, there's no way he's going to kill versus a dual lane on his own. Even with the help of Leshrac now here as well, it's very unlikely. So this is going to be an interesting dual lane here. On the side of MYM, of course, it is going to be Ace, like I said. He's on the bottom lane here. Kind of thrown to the dogs here, but he's getting good XP. Not much in the way of last hits. He's on the clockwork. The Rubik, one of their supports, is crit. He's in the jungle, being pressured up possibly by Vanscore here. Just trying to steal XP, steal last hits, do what he can. The mid lane, it's going to be the DK. Just got himself a DD rune and is doing surprisingly well versus this Lycan. Now the help has come in. The Lycan's got a little bit more last hits, but it's relatively even. That's going to be Rise. And top lane, of course, it's going to be Link. He's on the Necrophos and Biceps Warrior, which is a great name, by the way, to put that in. That's going to be Unicorn. He's on the Treant Protector.
Yeah, he is having an okay time, or at least he needs to have an okay time. Leech Seed coming out. Link's still taking a ton of damage. He needs living armor. He gets it now as well. They're going to go on Mag. They're going to try to turn us around. This, the death pulse doesn't get the kill. But
now his salve is used, and he is low on health, whereas Link, he still has a salve up. He has crit here as well, and yeah, this is the strength of this lane here. If you can't burst one of these two down instantly, they pop off Leech Seed, they pop off Living Armor, they throw out a couple of Death Pulses, and suddenly they're back up to full health, and you're the one who's losing it slowly over time. And they're just pressuring them now. They might go for a kill here.
There is a Gale up again for Mag. He does get it up on 2. The Leech Seed is still going to do its work though. And the Fate Ball to end it out. First blood going the way of Crit, who will end up going down. Mag getting the kill. Now in comes Vanscore. Another Death Pulse coming. Mag, does he have any extra regen? He will not go down from that one. That was so close. Link running away as well as Biceps. It looks like they're both going to survive, even though Vanscore still chasing them down. Gets a disruption off, actually. Leshrac coming in as well. He's not going to be there in time, though, to get the Split Earth off, perhaps. No, he can't actually do anything at all. Mag will run back to base. The Flare almost enough or on point to kill him, but he didn't actually get the kill going his way. Lycan at the same time took a bunch of damage as well on the mid lane, but he lived and was able to also get the regen rune in his bottle, so might be getting forced to use it straight away as Crit gets some harassment up on him. But Lycan sitting on 21-5 with his counterpart Dragonite also very low, 22-1, and since he did not get the rune, he is actually the one to rotate back to base, leaving Crit now in his place to get some experience and levels.
Yeah, he could have just bottle crowed, but the thing with bottle crowing when you're this low is that you're very likely to be rotated on at that stage by the support. Speaking of which, they're going on top lane.
Split Earth coming out after the disruption, and Link, Living Armor is already off. He'll go down. Lightning with the killing blow, always want to fly, gets that one.
Yeah, Living Armor does not last very long versus Mag. It also doesn't last very long versus Vanscore, because the Soul Catcher, it basically counts as a secondary source of damage, so those Living Armor charges just get eaten up there by the combo of this lane, and Treant needs to be careful. They need to have everybody here before they can actually fight this. Again, the combo looks like it will come out.
Yep, Gale as well. That's going to be Link, the target once again. He lands out a Death Pulse. Might be enough in. Oh my god, that one last hit. They get him in the end still. But they might lose Mag for it though, and indeed, one more punch and they will get him. There we go, and it's Rubik that gets it. Nice Split Earth coming out from Always on a Fly. But Bicep should be able to walk away from that one just fine. No lightning coming out. Always on a Fly is actually pretty fast, but not fast enough. And that is going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Still a worthy trade, I find, for Empire, as they do shut down that Necrophos. And a shut down Necrophos is not going to get off the ground that easily. While for a Venomancer, I mean, he needs levels, and then he should still be okay. And he is not the main core hero for Empire's lineup to be doing well.
Yeah, and be honest, I mean, we see Necrophos so little, we almost don't always know how well he's going to do, but we do know one thing. This hero is not good if he doesn't get a good laning stage. The big issue with him is his laning stage is terrible. He doesn't do anything during the laning stage. He's kind of a big creep. He can't use much in the way of death pulses, and even if he does, they don't do that much. We saw him try to get the kill on Venomancer earlier with them, and it just wasn't enough. He needs to get free farm to a certain extent, and without them all in that tri-lane together, he simply can't get it. But looks like they're going on Resolution mid lane.
Yeah,
they do have the lift. He's dead.
Yeah, he's very
nice
dead.
DD usage.
Indeed. Also nice first time uses of the Dragon Form. If they get a tower off the back of this, that's gonna be huge. Fortification gets used though, and maybe they can stop
but
this.
Nobody can come in and nobody's gonna come in and stop this. I mean, who can? Maybe the Venomancer with.
He has got
they have to bring in the whole
wards.
tri-lane though if they have to. And Ryze is very strong at this stage of the game. He's tanky. He's got a DD rune. I wouldn't want to contest this. Yeah, it just goes down. So that's a big pickup for MYM there because they were needing that gold because, frankly, Necrophos wasn't getting any.
No. Doesn't
And
look
Mag,
like
now
he
and Ace now has his hookshot up, so he can be used to ganking, and they can swap out Link, put him on the bottom lane, and try to secure him some farm. The issue is that, yeah, the issue is he's still level 4. He doesn't have any farm, and Lycan's ahead of him. They need to get some serious items up on this Necrophos, because the hero just doesn't do anything without items.
I do like the rotation though, although Empire likes the rotation too, because Vanscore is going to be able to do a lot more against Link than he could do against that Clockwork. Now, however, there is some backup coming in with both Crit and Biceps coming in to try and take down Vanscore. Nice arrow though, Rubik also gets a Soul Catcher. Oh my god, that is just
nicely
melting
played from them.
The Rubik down.
And
that's
they went for
nice
that
kill.
as soon as the living armor was used on Link as well, they were like, okay, we're just going to kill somebody else. Because Link is that much harder to kill. They don't have much in the way of damage over time here. The Venomancer is in a different lane. They just, they just switch targets there. And the fact is that what's Link going to do about it? What's the Treant going to do about it? He tried to get in a Leech Seed, but it wasn't going to be enough. The burst damage from these two is way too high for that healing over time to really do anything. And yeah, it really feels like this kind of weird Necrophos pick for them. It's nice,
Resolution.
it's cute, it worked, but now
Nice
it's
kill.
not.
That was the first hookshot used, and Resolution will go down for it. Nicely done
Yeah,
for
like mid,
Makers.
getting ganked pretty easily here, but the thing is he is getting a ton of levels and some pretty okay farm as well, but you'd kind of expect him to have his Vlads by now.
Well, he's kind of behind in terms of gold, though. If we look at the net worth, he's actually
got ganked
1.5.
twice.
Yeah, he's 1.5k gold behind on the Dragon Knight, so that's not something that is easily to come back from. Moonlight Shadow used.
No,
They're
not at
walking
all.
past a sentry ward, though. This is not going to be easy. However, there's no actual vision there, so they don't see Vanscore walking around. They're going to find Link. Soul Catcher there as well. Arrow to fly off of the back of that, and Link not able to get away in time, and the Starstorm is going to be enough to get away with Vanscore's poison. And that's a nice
Again,
little
living
get
armor
coming
just
out.
isn't going to save you from that because of the way the poison works, because of the way the soul catcher works. It's just too many instances of damage. The healing just doesn't work because it just gets cut through and taken away. So they can't keep this Necrophos alive. They have to rely on their Dragon Knight now and put the Necrophos somewhere where he's completely safe. So the best way of doing that is take this bottom tower, give him some more space on this bottom lane so the Empire, they won't have as easy access to this lane. And well, Biceps were just running forward then as a Treant Protector. Feels invincible.
He's
Gonna
still
try
level
and do
5.
what they can, but
I was thinking maybe he wants to run forward if he's level 6, get an overgrowth, and maybe start a fight. Arrow! Whoa! Nice leap away from Crit. That was really, really close, though. But good steal from him.
Ninja Rubik there.
Very much ninja, indeed. And that will be Empire still defending their tower. Mag rotated for this one. He is actually the one to build the mechanism for his team this game. Meantime, top lane has got a fight going on. It is Ace that is already going to get Always Wanna Fly. Doesn't get the hookshot away to try, or hookshot towards Resolution rather, to try and get that Lycan as well. Still though, this tower will go down denied. However, I mean, regardless if it's denied or not, I feel like it's still in favor of Empire because they are already ahead. And it just opens up more possibilities for their split pushes. We have on the bottom lane Disruption, Soul Catcher, Arrow, Biceps. You're dead, guy. And comes a
Ryze is here though.
Dragon
He is
Tail,
very
Mag
strong.
taking a ton of damage. Will be able to get away from that one. And
Where's
with the
his
kill
team?
still landing on Ryze, they're able to get this kill as well. That's going to be 2 dead in the bottom lane with Mag still living to tell the tale, surprisingly so. But he should be okay. He should be fine.
Yeah, and nicely played from Vanscore there, throwing off the Demonic Purge on him, so the Dragon Knight just couldn't chase him down there. Without Elder Dragon form, he's got no range either, and the big problem was he TP'd in to try and help his team, and nobody else did. Everybody else was like, oh, that guy's dead, like, whatever, we'll just leave it, and he turns up and just gives away another kill there. Either he should come in with his teammates or he and let the tower go, but yeah, so a little bit of a problem for him to go down there, but Smoke now picked up by Resolution, so I guess he's got his Vlads. He's going to try and do the Roshan, but this is not going to be easy. He doesn't have a medallion, and of course Roche got a little bit more armor this patch, so He's a little bit harder to kill. Lycan, not the best at just solo killing with just a Vlad's anyway. He's no Ursa.
Definitely not. He is still gonna try though. Let's see how successful he'll be. He managed to get the tower in the meantime while that bottom fight was going on, so that's good for him, as we have Always Wanna Fly getting lifted here up on the top lane. Might be in some trouble. Yeah, that's definitely a lot of trouble. Reaper Scythe actually being thrown out by Link as well. He is now level 8, and he definitely is starting to catch up in terms of gold as well. Still a bit behind,
yeah, and that's incredibly important. It's incredibly important anyway. He needs these kills. He's been involved in the last couple that his team have got. It's incredibly important he can do that, because otherwise he's not going to get the levels, he's not going to get any farm. Right now he hasn't even got a point in Heartstopper because it just doesn't do anything for him in the laning stage, and yeah, he just needs to get up what he can. He's trying to work up to a mech, but until he's got a full mech, he basically has no HP as well, and he's a hero who's based around doing damage over time in fights, and if you're based on doing a lot of damage over time in fights, you either need to be tanky or you need to be a support who's suicidal like a Venomancer, and he's not that. And the Venomancer doing exactly the same thing, going mech. Both of them heroes that want to just last a long time in the fight so that their damage over time can do more.
Yeah, in the meantime...
Looks like he might try and go for a kill on Always Wanna Fly again, though.
Yeah, I think so too. They just have to get the lift off. The Reaper Scythe is on cooldown this time, but let's see how far they get. That is going to be Always Wanna Fly fine, I think. I think he should be okay to survive here. He will be taking a lot of damage, and I think he'll need to call in some backup if they want to save or defend this tower a little bit. Not enough pushing power for a Link and Crit to really take down this tower, and actually they're not going to continue going anyways, so... Well, I guess
yeah,
that's
they'll
successful.
do it with the creep wave a little bit, but yeah, at the very least, they force Always Wanna Fly it back. He'll have to go farm in the jungle for a bit and then just go back to base. The nice thing for MYM, something we haven't talked about, is that despite the Roshan attempt from Empire, with Roshan being that little bit harder, with Lycan not having much farm as well, he just has a Vlad's. With 13 minutes in, he should have a little bit more than that, but Ace can just rocket the pit every time that the Lycan is away for a while, because it takes the Lycan so long to do it.
Every time that he hears the howl, I guess.
He did it last time. He's doing it again now, yeah. And this could be dangerous. Ace has the opportunity to hookshot here. Resolution needs to be careful. Roshan is low. If they give it away, as well as not getting it on Resolution, he could end up miles behind. Yeah,
Ace, though, he's gonna get the Demonic Purge, the Soul Catcher as well, Living Armor. Helping out as well as the hookshot away towards Bicep, so he should be okay. Still sends another flare, but now with the entire team backing him up, Resolution will finally get the Aegis this way.
It took him a while, but it's worth it. Yeah. And that was nice play from Empire then, bringing in support so that the Clockwork didn't have the option of doing that. If the Lycan's on his own, the Clockwork can hookshot in, and with the Battery Assault will just kill him, because, I mean, it does so much damage maxed out like this. This Clockwork's actually got a fair number of levels as well, so... he'll do a lot of damage to anybody that he gets, but yeah, in that situation, you just bring in your supports. He's forced to hookshot backwards just to survive, and well, maybe they'll try and get the bottom tier 1 in the meantime, but Lycan has got himself a fair amount of farm. Where's Link? Because he's the most important one for me as far as farm. I think he's got his mech.
Nope.
No, he doesn't have his mech.
300
I thought they was coming out in the courier.
Moonlight Shadow coming out for Empire. Meteor Makers are aware that something is amiss, as we do have Empire not chasing, because it would be too much, maybe a potential...
Link isn't here, though. No, sorry, Link isn't... Ace isn't here. I always get these guys mixed up. That's really terrible, I know, but... Danish Dota, there's a lot of players, man. It's not my fault.
Well, it's also no Lycan here, so I guess Empire's not too sad to fight 4-on-5 if they have the chance. They just need to land an arrow. Actually, Silent walking in a bit too far. He will be able to leap away and getting disrupted as well to save his life. Mag, though, he's gonna get the Reaper Scythe on him and he'll go down. Shadow Demon dropped as well as Link taking a ton of damage, but still Living Armor keeping him up. Silent doesn't have a leap anymore, has to be careful as we see Shrek dying 3-for-0 and Silent running for his life right now. The hookshot not enough length for that one to reach that Mirana, but nice try. Meteor Makers, I think they should be able to get a kill off of this one, or at least a tower kill rather, is what I mean, as Rise is still on the hunt for someone.
Resolution needs to be careful. They have a lot of healing here.
Yeah.
They have a lot of healing. They have another Leech Seed up. They have plenty of mana on Link.
Oh, Silent.
But the
already gonna be dead before the fight even starts. Manages to leap out. There's not lethal poison, luckily for him. Flare might be doing the job though, and the Flare is indeed on its way. We'll get the kill on the Mirana as well, as we have got Crit stunned for the moment, locked inside an arrow. Resolution getting picked up regardless. Mirana dying now only? What? Well, 3 dying now. That was the one. Sorry, I was mixed up there. It was an arrow from Rubik.
Great defensive play from MYM, but it looks like Link might still go down. He has some mana. No, he's going to go.
Yep. And it's actually 2 return kills already for that one Mirana kill. Empire arrow flying in. Up on always wanna fly. Fate ball as well. They get the Aegis. Nicely done indeed. As Grid actually gets a level 4 lightning once again. Will be able to throw it out. Slowing down always wanna fly as well. Doesn't get the kill though, and now has to be careful. In comes the Howl again, and I mean, they just keep on fighting here. The sustain for Meteor Makers is insane. Hookshot in. Vanscore picked up by Ace there. Split Earth will miss, and Ace looking for always wanna fly. He's got no cast point here, won't be able to get anything off before he dies. And it is again Meteor Makers that take the fight in their hands. I mean, they keep on fighting. Empire, I don't think they should be fighting at this point. Not when,
yeah,
like,
it definitely feels like this
one
is...
by one.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with that. The big issue right now is that Meteor Makers have so much sustain once they actually get all their spells off. You know, if they get a Leech Seed off, if they get Link's Death Pulse off, and then they get the Living Armor off, they have a mech now as well. Their effective HP is way above what it says on their their bar. It's way above that. And with a Dragon Knight in the front as well, who has now got a drum, he's rushing a BKB afterwards. Or arrow onto Treant, that could hurt them, but they have so many good defensive spells. Look, they're doing no damage to them.
Nope, and Rise still in Dragon form. Split Earth coming out from Rubik. Actually hits upon always wanna fly. He gets healed up by the mech, but it doesn't matter. Poison Nova still on quite a bit of people from Meteor Maker, so that might be the way for Empire to win this fight. They don't get the Dragon Knight. He's gonna be able to fly away. Actually, Dragon Knight still dies to the Shadow Demon Poison. Nicely done, but Lycan is already picked up. Starstorm's still coming out. They're just trying to defend right now, hoping that Meteor Makers is not going to overextend, not going to try and go for a fight.
Meteor Makers will try and just get out as a group now. This is a dangerous moment for them because Empire are very good at chasing.
Yeah, Silent. He has got a leap still. Will be forced to use it. Keep in mind that when Rubik steals the Split Earth, it is better than the Split Earth from Leshrac. It's an instant
way better.
stun. So it's we already saw that twice during this fight. It makes a huge difference, especially
the
if you're
lightning's
fighting
way better
some
as
of
well.
Complex areas where they were fighting in right now. And yeah, just overall, Leshrac has a very high cast point for all of his spells. So all of his spells are better on Rubik than they are on Leshrac.
Yeah, poor old Leshrac, he's not actually good at his own magic there. Rubik's way better at it. And it's so hard to actually stop MYM. Ooh, Arrow and Ace here, but he's got a Blade Mail as well. He's just going to turn around. He doesn't care.
Yeah, Leaf
he's
is
got
still
way
there
less
for
HP
Silent.
and he's just fighting.
So the Earth gets dodged, hookshot, misses. Nicely done for Silent. Gets himself out. But it just goes to show, like, in theory, he should be able to pick off a target like that by himself. But Living Armor as well as Blade Mail just being there helps him out. In the meantime, Lycan still too far behind on doing anything.
Yeah, if you get an arrowed like that normally, you're like 100% dead. And that just doesn't matter versus Treant Protector and a Clockwork with a Blade Mail as well. He just turns around, puts his Blade Mail, and is like, right, time to fight, because what are you going to do to him at that point? I mean, it's not like he has a BKB or anything that he can turn on and fight through it.
And some problems. Still gets a stun up, which is nice for him. If it's enough, I doubt it. Still though, nope, never mind. Rubik gets a killing blow. Also
and now
lifts
Mag
up
is going to go down as well.
Mag still has a mechanism, but he's not fast enough. Or is he? Gets a Gale off still up on Ace. And still slowing down Ace with those poison wards as well. Trying to juke Ace around the Split Earth. Still gonna be there though from the Rubik, of course. That was the one as Mag goes down. They continuously try. In the meantime, top lane, wait a second. Vanscore already dead there as well. Link though, walking into an arrow. Silent trying to turn this around. They're looking for Rise as well, but they don't have any way to slow him down. That's gonna be them having to give up the kill on the Dragon Knight. The 2 cores of Empire only got a support there. Oh, I guess that was not a support. It was a Necrophos. Considered a core, but nonetheless, not enough.
Not very much farm. He has support levels of farm almost, but yeah, even so, they do manage to pick him off, which is nice, but Empire just seem to be losing so much, and Resolution has not made up for it in farm. Neither has the Mirana either. She's a little bit more, she's got a little bit more, but neither of them have got a huge amount of farm right now, unlike the DK, who has just picked up a full BKB. He's got a drum as well. He's incredibly tanky. We saw this game earlier, where a team just can't kill the pushing heroes, and what do you do against it? Because your Lycan isn't fat enough to split push properly yet. He's got himself a Necro 1. Not exactly what you would normally expect from him. He's just died too many times. He's 1-3-3. Not great for him. And MYM are just... They're making themselves invincible in these fights. They have the mech up. They have BKB now. I want to see what they go for next. I assume it'll just be straight HP items. It's a point booster for 2 of their heroes. That's exactly it. Just get some HP.
Yeah, why not?
Ace has a point booster. Link has a point booster. Ace hasn't actually given himself it. Yeah, there's his point booster now. So how do you kill these guys at this point without unless you burst them from max to 0? That's your only way of doing it.
And ganking is what they want. And talking about ganking, always want to fly is finding himself in one. Not one that's favorable for him though. He'll get picked up before anything else. The wolves will still be sent the way of Meteor Makers, but they won't. The
wolves are annoying, but they're not actually doing anything. They're annoying, but that's about it.
Exactly, and at this point, I mean, Empire can definitely still take this game, as Hookshot just hits up on a wolf. Nicely done.
Ace must be so confused for a moment then. Yep. That's terrible for him. He's like, I'll hook him. Wait, what? Did I lag, guys? He's like, oh no, there's a wolf there.
This is the last tier 1 tower going down on the side of Empire, and it doesn't look like they're gonna defend this. They won't even use the fortification to try and delay it. Van's score is still very poor. Not surprising, he is a support, but at this point you want him to be also carrying around some sentries, maybe, perhaps. Wait a second. Resolution. No, he's fine. Never mind. Oh, and I meant sentries for Meteor Makers because of the Marana, but I don't know. Empire just haven't really made anything happen, and I feel like they should. And not with the Lycan. Lycan should be farming and split pushing, but with the
yeah, I was gonna say they need to try and break up MYM's lineup because the real strength of MYM is when they just group up, they go in one lane, and they take a tower, they take a team fight, and they don't even care. They all come out of it with full HP at the end. The strength of Empire's lineup is that they can gank very effectively with the Marana combo, and I mean, there's exactly it. They find crit. He's an easy kill on his own. He has no way of healing himself. With his team, he's virtually invincible. So, you know, try and break up the side of MYM, try and do what they can, and now they're split pushing off it, they'll end up getting an even tower trade. This is good for them. Very, very good, in fact.
Yeah.
And now pressuring the tier 3.
Very good for
because
them.
Because Lycan split push is so goddamn fast.
Yeah, especially with the edict from Leshrac helping out as well. Look at this tier 3. It's actually going to die in this push. They also get Clockwork there. Marana able to get the killing blow for that one. And they almost get these range racks. They are going to get the racks. And Silent, he can leap away. He's fine. This is the kind of game Empire has to play. It is disgusting, but it works, and it is the way for them to victory, as we have got Marana being able to live. Everybody on Empire lives. They kill off the Clockwork, who was the first one out from the bottom lane, and they get racks.
Exactly. That's how they need to execute their lineup, because if everybody chose to fight Mag and Vanskor and the others, those can defend a tower. And Mag can just throw himself at him, he can poison over, he can mech, try and last as long as possible, whilst Resolution is pressuring another lane. And then if you TP back, you're going to be TPing back with Venomancer's poison over on you, which does ridiculous damage over time. You're going to end up TPing back at half health into a Lycan, which is not something you want to do, because Lycan will turn around, he'll ult, he'll throw down his Necros, his Wolves, and he'll just murder you, and then he'll kill your Racks. So this is how they want to play it. This is good for them that they are. MYM, though, they need to force the engagement in some situation.
Why is always
maybe
want to fly
smoke up and try and get a kill. Like always want to fly has been on the wrong side of the map a lot this game.
Yeah. He was killing off a small camp, maybe trying to scout out.
I mean, you gotta find your farm, Shiva.
Yeah, but
you just gotta not die and do it at the same time.
Exactly. We do have
They're
Resolution
going for the Roshan here.
Again,
they don't have always want to fly up, and they have a haste rune up on the DK. This is a good opportunity for
Dragon
MYM.
Tail, Resolution, defensive disruption. Look at this damage coming out of the Dragonite. Perhaps he can make something happen. He turns on his BKB though, and he's gonna be okay. Moonlight Shadow might be the way for Resolution to get away. Rise still taking a bit of damage from Silent, but he is forced to back off as well. Mag might actually die from. Yeah, there we go. Clockwork actually got a double kill with that flare, but I think the Death Rolls would have killed it anyway. Meteor Makers, they get 2 kills, which is... Whoa, that's close. Which is, I mean, it could have been worse, I guess, for Empire. Ooh, nice split earth. Up on 4!
Oh, Poison Nova was stolen by Rubik, though. Great pickup for crit there. That'll be a very powerful... I mean, we were already talking about how great they are in a fight over time, and how that's kind of Empire's trump card, so... That's a problem for them, but either way, they do manage to take the Roshan off them. I don't think it's a huge loss for Empire, because the thing is they shouldn't and they don't want to engage in a 5v5 fight anyway, which is where Aegis is useful for. But it does mean that the Resolution just has to be that little bit more careful when he's going for some of these split pushes, because now if he gets caught by Crit, for instance, who has a blink and can lift him up immediately, if somebody follows up with a good amount of damage, they'll kill him off, and he can't afford to die too much this game, because he's already got, you know, very little in the way of kill involvement. He's not as farmed as he'd like to be. He's died a fair amount, so he can't afford to die too much more.
Yeah, I do like that Empire is so active still in this game, though. They have got 3 observer wards up on nice places as well. One of them actually blocking the Ancients for Meteor Makers. And they are definitely still in this game. They just need to not fight. That's basically what it comes down. Not fight or gank, absolutely. And know for a fact that they are going to get 1 kill or 2 and then move themselves out. Or if they do
fight, or if they do fight, it's got to be just with the Poison Nova just defending a tower. They can't actually, like, dedicated throw everybody in and take a long duration fight, because it's not going to work versus MYM's lineup. They have so much healing. I mean, we saw what happened to the DK in that fight. He got hit by the arrow. It was a very bad situation. He took a ton of damage, and then he BKB'd. He got healed up by the mech as well as the Death Pulse. And I think even by the Treant Protector as well. Well, and from that point, he was virtually invincible.
They find Treant, biceps.
Those are Necro 3's, friend.
Yep.
Those have invis detection.
Overgrowth actually used for that one. The rest of Empire will back off now that they know that the Meteor Makers was planning on an attack here. But those Necronomicons doing the work here, as they will actually feed.
Yeah.
A lot of experience they give, by the way, so definitely
I was going to say, you don't want to do this anymore. It's too much experience.
And a lot of gold still as well.
Did you see the joke SFM guy that guy made about 6.81?
Nope.
Like the little video about it. It was like there's a picture of a tiny, like a normal tiny, and he like punches a couple of Necronomicons and then instantly grows, like he gets his ulti 3 times because they feed so much experience now.
Ah, yeah. It's yeah, you shouldn't do that basically. Luckily for Empire, Meteor Makers was with the 4 of them, so they have to split that experience. Nonetheless, it's
it's still a lot of experience,
and they're actually
especially
pushing
for
bottom,
like biceps and stuff. Yeah, they're just going to go for this right now. Lycan isn't in position to do any split push. They do have the lane at top pushed in onto the tier 2, but it looks like Lycan's coming back. They think they have to defend this, and I'm not surprised because they're already at their base right now, and they have they're just going for this. Rise is up on the top. No
pressure. These arrows have to hit, and actually they hit upon Rise. Arrow got stolen by the Rubik, though. Poison Nova up on 4, nicely done. But is it enough damage at this point? It's level 2 Poison Nova. They are able to Demonic Purge a Dragon Knight. He's turning on his BKB, but it's too late. His Aegis will be gone. And perhaps this is the call for Meteor Makers to back off. Arrow will fly in though, and Dragon Knight, his BKB is on cooldown. He can't do anything. If he dies here, that will be a big pickup for Empire. They kill him off. Hookshot coming in on Ace, gets it up on Silent, but Silent, he's just leaping afterwards. We're following actually Silent. This is not a smart decision for you to make. In the meantime, always want to fly, Treant Protector. Both go down, but they get Link as well. 4 for 1. Arrow misses. It was an arrow from Mirana actually. Looking for maybe Clockwork, but Clockwork teleported out into safety. He's the only one surviving. Huge fight for Empire, defending their tier 3 tower, getting the Aegis, and then the Dragon Knight after that one as well. This could be the turnaround that Empire was waiting for.
Yeah, the big thing there was that Empire just straight up outplayed them there. They threw the arrow onto the Dragon Knight. MYM were trying to use it as bait, because Dragon Knight actually kind of purposely run into it a little bit. But they tried to use it as bait, and then... Yeah, he used his BKB after he was like half health, and he still had the Aegis up. His better option would have been to let the Aegis go, do what damage he can, Empire have to throw a load on him, and then when he comes back with full HP, he BKBs, and what do they do then? He's invincible. So that would have probably been the better option. Maybe just a bit of a panic BKB, maybe thought they could fight earlier, but in the end...
Leaps upon leaps.
Crit really has been very useful for picking off heroes in this, because he's a great initiator. With Blink Dagger, you can jump in, immediately lift someone, of course.
But
Rubik with
he jumped and he stole a spell rather than jumping and lifting.
Yeah, he tried to jump and Starstorm him, is what he's doing. Now he's going to try and
Now he's going to get him. Silent tries to leap away, still in overgrowth. He will try to get away. He's got a drone charge, but he won't be able to make it out of this alive. He'll go down. Dominating streak going
I love what
Rubik.
Crit did there. He decided he wanted Leap afterwards to be even more mobile, so he stole again from him, even though he already had Starstorm, which is already a great spell. Yeah, he just leaped over him as well, which looked cool as hell.
Without the leap, he wouldn't have gotten that kill. Mag is actually in some trouble there. He's gonna find Ace. Mag will pop his Necronomicon, try to kill off Ace. Poison Nova is still there for Mag if he really wants to. Split Earth will actually hit upon Ace. If they want to go for this, they can. Mag for staffing out of the cogs. In comes the Reaper Scythe. Now he is definitely dead. And it looks like Always Wanna Fly is going to follow him into the grave. The Split Earth hits upon 3, which is nice enough, but doesn't matter. Ace gets himself a killing spree off the back of that. That means across the map, 3 heroes died of Empire. And I think that's going to mean tier 2 dead.
Yeah, and with the long duration, and with no cooldown on the buyback, well, no, sorry, no money for the buyback, and with the longer duration on your respawn timer, because getting killed by Reaper's Scythe now, it increases your respawn timer. If you have an Aghanims as well, you can't even buy back. They're just going to go for this, and I think this is even better situation than last time, because now half the team on Empire aren't actually able to defend, and whilst they don't have the Aegis, they do have still a lot of HP on all their heroes.
There's a bit of damage coming out on the Dragon Knight. They're still going for the tower,
hit by
though.
So many arrows.
Yeah, and lightning there as well, but maybe Silent getting disrupted. Will be fine for the moment. Moonlight Shadow also, of course, blocks his escape.
Lycan is doing what he can to split push, but he's only going to take a tier 2, and they're going to lose a tier 3. Maybe the range racks for this as well. If things go badly, they could lose the melee, but Venomancer's back up now, and yeah, MYM will back out. A pretty good trade for them overall, but...
They get linked with an arrow, a long-range arrow. They won't be able to go off the back of it, but that was...
I feel like they're baiting again, or did he run into that?
He ran into that one, but he teleports out, so he's going to be okay. In the meantime, indeed, the tier 2 bottom died, but that was all that Resolution could do on his Lycan in that period of time. I mean, they don't lose racks, which is something that is pretty important. They still are 1 racks ahead in that regard. But this game, I mean, this game is absolutely wide open. We've got the gold graph. We're 32 minutes into the game, and it's only 2,500 gold difference in gold, which is in favor of Empire, but you cannot...
and a bracer.
Yeah, and it's split out over heroes.
So that's all it is. That's nothing right now.
It's all in the inventory of Marana, actually, if you want to look at it that way. So it's nothing. Experience graph difference, also nothing. 3.5k in favor of Meteor Makers in that case. But I mean, we look at the levels, and it's very evenly spread. A bit more even spread on Meteor Makers than on Empire, which at this point is not that big of a deal yet. But once...
I think that's better for Empire, to be honest. Well, I think Empire would like more levels on somebody like a Lycan than they would want their levels more evenly spread, because Lycan ultimately can just sort of solo them at some point in this game.
You want to get your level 3 ulti up, though, and I think that's going to be making the biggest difference once that Reaper Scythe is level 3, once Overgrowth might be level 3, but that's not that big of a difference, but it's going to be taking a lot longer for Venomancer, for example, to get to level 3 on his Poison Nova, and that's going to be a big deal, to be honest, especially since I would hope that... No, never mind, he was building an Necronom gun. I'm still hoping...
This could be a bad situation, but they have ran through a ward.
Ooh, shot, Venscore. You're dead, buddy. Force themselves away. Does have a disruption if he wants to, but yeah.
He's accepting his fate there. There's not much he can do about that.
Yeah. Still bought time.
Either way,
for,
though,
Empire...
Yeah, Lycan gets out, and Empire are doing a good job here, because they're keeping every lane split pushed in. Always want to fly. I mean, he's always been on the wrong side of the map. He's now up on the bottom lane, though, and he is pushing this out. It's dangerous for him to do, but, you know, better him to do it than the Lycan do it. And the Lycan was up on the top lane anyway, so he couldn't have, but... Always want to fly. It has to be a little bit careful. Oh, nice hook shot.
Very nice hook shot. No one's want to fly. He's not going to make it out of this alive, for sure. I mean, yeah, you cannot do that. It's risky. It's better than Lycan.
It's nice to push the lane in. I think it's worth it just to push the lane in and give yourself more time, because ultimately, the longer this game goes on, the longer that this mid-rax is down and with the creeps pushing in, the more opportunities this Lycan's going to get to backdoor or something and just instantly kill your base. Because if you have to 5-man, eventually your lineup falls off. No matter what sort of lineup it is, it's always more difficult to 5-man in the very late game, because it's more, you know, teams get more mobile, and somebody like a Lycan can do just as much damage to your base as the entire lineup of MYM can.
Yeah, the split push. It's very depressing to watch that team split push like this, or at least trying to fight against split push if you're Meteor Maker, so trying to find kills all the time.
Yeah.
Which is good to do with the clockwork, to be honest. No pressure, Ace. But it is still Empire. They don't want to fight. They want to try and split push this, and it's kind of passive for them to watch. It's not really Empire style normally. They want to normally fight, as the hookshot actually misses up on creeps. We still have Crit walking next to Silent, though. Silent has got a leap. Will leap and teleport out. Crit's following him, though, and lifting him up. He is in trouble.
What a blink by
He
Crit.
will land, shoot an arrow, but totally whiffs the arrow. As, yeah.
And they even use the Necrophos ulti on him, just so that he spends more time dead, and just so that he can't buy back, whether he wants to or not. That said, still, more split push coming up from Empire. Resolution will get the tower. Can they kill him off, though? Gonna be hard.
They force a teleport from Ace, who gets in there. I mean, he has got the hookshot, obviously, but he couldn't get it done anymore, especially not with Wolves possibly blocking that. In the meantime, there is a bit of a push coming bottom, but without Clockwork, they can't really do that much. So they are forced to back off, meaning that the split push from Lycan, even though it did not get any tier 3 towers, definitely successful, forcing out those teleports.
Yeah, and it feels like maybe MYM, they need to get some sort of smoke up or something, get themselves a pick off and get themselves a big advantage from it. Because right now, every moment that the Lycan is alive, they're slowly losing the game because they just can't get hold of anything. They can't actually get hold of the enemy base and just go into it right now. Roshan is up now as well, so this is an opportunity for Empire to take. Maybe this is the thing that, they need, though.
Hookshot will hit on Wolf number 1. Well. And a 4-staff out for helping out from Vanscore. Resolution still running from this one as the other Wolf is going to get disrupted. Vanscore should be able to get himself out of here, or at least... Oh, the poor guy.
Goodbye, Vanscore.
Gave his life for Resolution. That's worth it.
He did, but well worth it for him, yeah. He needs to do that for his team, because if they do lose the Lycan, particularly if they lose it to a Necrophos ult, he's going to be dead for a very long time. This is a level 19 Lycan with 37 minutes into the game. He's going to be on the sidelines for a while, and every moment he's on the sidelines is, or every moment he's not split pushing, is a moment that MYM can go and kill your base.
Yeah. Vice versa as well, though.
Yeah, definitely. Every moment that he's up and he's doing something, MYM can't move forwards because they constantly have to come back and deal with these lanes. And if it's somebody on their own as well, if it's, say, the Treant Protector on his own, he has to be very careful because he can be killed by the Lycan.
Resolution is in some trouble. Link is around there. If they get him down with the Reaper Scythe, then that's definitely an option right here. Moonlight Shadow is not going to be enough to save him.
Oh, brilliant.
That's him dead for 100 seconds.
Brilliant turnaround from MYM. Link now has his full mana as well because he gets a ton extra from the Sadist when he gets a kill. And now they're going to even try and go on this. Do they see Silent?
Yeah, they
don't
have
detection. Oh, they have the gem.
Gem on the Wolf. Silent is safe though. 4-staffed by Vanscore.
I think they're going to play it safe. They'll go to the top lane, get the extra gold from that, but then they keep going because Lycan, he cannot buy back. There's nothing he can do about this. Reaper's Scythe, Aghanim Scepter ulti makes it do that. Plus, he's on 30% longer cooldown to actually come up, so this is a long time where MYM can do this. Yeah, it comes up on the it comes up next to his thing. I think that's really, really cool by whoever decided that was a good idea to put it in. I don't know who it was.
Hits up on Rise again, surprise. Some damage being done there. It's not enough to stop them though. Nice Split Earth as well. In comes Rubik, lifting up Almost Wanna Fly. Who's gonna get disrupted for his own safety. Should be able to get 4-staffed out. Hookshot still hits though, and actually Almost Wanna Fly, he'll drop regardless. Vanscore stuck in the cogs will go down as well. Dominating Link. We've got an Overgrowth locking in Mag. Not gonna get a range for Poison Nova
Link
at this
and
point.
Rise are arrow
Buyback
magnets.
from Always Wanna Fly, and again! That's gonna be Ace
nice
getting that
Ace.
hook shot up on Almost Wanna Fly for the second time in a row. Also gonna get that kill. This tier 3 tower is not gonna last for very much longer. 15 seconds before the Lycan is back. The fortification will delay Meteor Makers a little bit longer. Mirana is still alive. For the moment, Mag not gonna make it out alive though, as an arrow will fly in, not hitting up on Ace, who wants to go in and get the gem, gets it as well. But this is gonna be a set of racks down for Meteor Makers, and it looks like for the moment, they're gonna keep their unbeaten streak alive here in the excellent Moscow Cup. They're not gonna continue on though. To the mid lane, maybe. No, they're not gonna
go back, push out the mid lane. Maybe they'll turn around or try and control up this jungle for a while, but they do have to deal with that middle lane. Those range creeps, I mean, it's not the ideal, but it's better than having nothing. It will help push in that lane. The real issue there is they forced out all those buybacks from Empire, and the fact is Empire cannot secure kills properly without resolution, because even with all the farm on this Mirana, she's not a good hero for actually finishing somebody off and doing a lot of damage. Particularly because she's reliant on physical damage that is not bursty. Resolution has crit inbuilt to his heroes, his wolves do as well, so they can cut through all the healing. But Silent, he does a lot of damage over time just throwing in those arrows, and ultimately doesn't do anything to MYM with so much in the way of healing on their team. And now MYM, the top lane is pushing in. They'll try and just go up the middle lane here, I assume.
Yeah, but with an Aegis on Lycan, it might not be safe to do that. They
maybe just try and pressure,
for sure.
But
I think Empire can definitely fight still with this racks up. So Meteor Makers, they have to probably play it slightly secure, just to make sure that they're... Oh, this is a smoke gank waiting to happen. But just to play it secure to make sure that they actually got this game in the bag. For now, though, if Empire only needs to get one good team fight, and they're still having a lot of chance to cut back. However, there are still 4 buybacks up for Meteor Makers, so maybe
and top
2
lane is going to push in
fights.
continuously. That's the big problem right now, because they're going to try and force down this bottom lane. It's going to take them a long to do, because MYM, we know it, they're incredibly hard to actually kill off. And in the meantime, the whole time creeps are pushing in. We can already see there's bigger creeps coming out. Bigger waves as well. So this is difficult for them, but maybe this is the fight they need.
Misses.
If they can cut through, it'll be worth it.
Everybody of Empire just revealed themselves, and perhaps because they revealed themselves without getting anything in return, yeah, they're going to back off. I mean, that was just
I love this item pickup on Rise, by the way. Yeah, that they couldn't initiate, and the fact is, if they can't initiate and then do a ton of damage off the back of that initiation, they just can't kill MYM. That's why I love this pickup for Rise. He's picked up a full Satanic now. It's the old school carry Dragon Knight. You just make yourself invincible on this hero. You just make yourself fight forever, slow everybody with your Elder Dragon form as well. With a Satanic, a BKB, and an AC as well, he's got so much HP, so much armor, and now with the Satanic, he can just fight people for so long. He basically has 2 lives, backed up by his entire team that make him have 3 lives. It's crazy how much HP he has, and there's a heart up on Link as well, Shiva's too. So many items that just make it incredibly hard to do damage to them. Shiva's slows everybody's attack speed, slows them down as well. These are great item pickups by MYM. I think this is a really inspired draft, by the way.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, at this point, Mirana is also, like, she's supposed to be one of the core damage dealers next to the Lycan, of course. And
how do you do damage to this team?
Yeah, we saw her hitting on the Dragon Knight for a while in the previous fight when he was in Dragon form, and she just tickled him.
He just ignored her. Yeah, he just was like, whatever, you're a Mirana, you can't do enough damage. And that is one of the weaknesses with the core Mirana. I mean, you said it yourself, you don't like seeing too much in the way of farming Miranas, because the issue the hero has is that carry Miranas and really hardcore farming Miranas, because the issue you have is you farm up all these items, and until you have 6 slots, you don't actually hit that hard. Mostly, you're still reliant on Starstorm and Arrow to do the majority of your damage. And that's the issue she's having, because Arrow and Starstorm are a burst damage, and it's not enough to cut through these heroes. I mean, Rise has 2.6k HP, and 11 plus 32 armor. He's got 43 armor.
I do like that she's building a Lycans, though. Stop Resolution from getting Reaper Scythe. By the looks of it.
Actually, that's a smart option, but it also means that Resolution can just go, oh, there's a Lincoln's on Resolution. I'll just Reaper Scythe somebody else. So maybe not completely perfect, but it looks like MYM. Well, no, they're going to back off here. They want to try and fight Empire because they have this Rax down in the top lane. It's a full lane of Rax as well, not just a melee Rax. So I think they just want to try and take Empire head on here, because even if they lose the fight, they can buy back on most of them. They don't have it on DK in there yet, but they do have it on the Necrophos as well. And I mean, do you really feel like you can kill off this DK? He's so hard to kill. He's got an 8-second BKB and a Satanic. What do you do versus that?
Well, Silence is gonna find out soon, because she's walking right into Ace, Link, Silent, Lincoln's prop. Can he leap? Nope, it's on cooldown. Doesn't go down to the Reaper side, so that's a plus side for him. Disruption defensively from him as well. And Link actually taking a ton of damage. Resolution chasing him down with a wolf. Is it enough? Good Earth coming out, hitting up on biceps as Link. Here. BKB turned on by Resolution. He is still not getting it. Now he gets him, but now he has to run for his life as Biceps tries to stay alive. Mag trying to do what he can as well, force-staffs himself into safety. It's only 1-for-1, and it took them so long. As Clockwork actually still is in the back finding the Leshrac. Teleports himself out right now, but it took them so long to take down Link with his heart. Why would he go for the tankiest target? I mean, I get it, you don't want him to spam out the death balls all the time, but oh my god, that just took them such a long time.
It's like he has no choice, though. That's the real issue. They, like you said, you don't want to try and initiate and kill the tankiest target, but if the tankiest target is the one that makes their team invincible by constantly spamming death pulses, then I understand where he's coming from. It's a difficult decision. Maybe if he goes for something like the Treant first, he'll get that, and he'll take away their gem then as well, which is very useful because it's just that one extra moment where MYM, they have to try and pick up that gem on somebody else, because otherwise the Mirana ultimate means it's virtually impossible to kill anyone. I think this is it's just such a difficult game for them. The real issue there was that their Dragon Knight came in and he didn't actually get anybody in that fight. He helped do a bit of damage to Venomancer, and that's pretty much it. Because with a BKB up on the Lycan, Ryze can't actually do anything to him. His Dragon Tail won't stop him, just won't be able to use, and the slow Frost attack from the Dragon won't do anything to the Lycan's ultimate. So Maybe just Rise, they needed to be with the rest of his team there, but even so, Empire just got the perfect situation as far as a fight was concerned. They killed off the Necrophos, and what did they gain from it? They actually lost the fight. They lost 2 people. They didn't gain any ground.
And
MYM keep
Rax.
the map control. Yeah, and they lost Rax as well. They lost the range Rax, so terrible situation for the Empire right now. And this is great play by MYM. I've got to say, if there's anything about MYM I love, it's their drafting style, because they picked a Necrophos. Nobody would pick a Necrophos.
And at this point, I mean, with the heart now also up on the clockwork, Empire is going to have to need so much time to take down the lineup of Meteor Makers that for them to try and fight Meteor Makers is not an option. They need to try and split push. Hookshot finds Mag. That's going to be a Venomancer for staffing himself through the trees. Not down though. Split Earth coming out might still help him out. Ace having a bit of trouble there against some Necro units, but should be okay as the Necronomicon Archer is not doing anything, but not like that would have helped. We should just give away extra gold. And we'll see. We'll see. This might be our last fight on our hands. Empire need to defend this Rax if they want to be able to keep themselves up here. Wolf, BKB as well. Dragonite in some trouble. Poison Nova going out as well. Is there enough damage? Mag already picked up Resolution. He is still trying to go for this target. Still trying to go for Link. Now finally Link drops, but at the cost of a Lycan who died through a Reaper Scythe, cannot buy back, and 2 other supports dead as well. We're gonna have Limerana picked up. The GG is called Meteor Makers. They keep their unbeatable streak alive. They are 8-0 in these group stages for the excellent Moscow Cup, while Empire is now having 3 losses to their name, which means that it's not entirely up to them anymore if they make it to the top 4. However, I remember me saying this earlier today, and that means that they are actually one of the teams that makes it easier for, I believe, Power Rangers to still be in the top 4 as well. Because so far...
It's close at the top 4 right now.
Yep, it is Meteor Makers and Rockskiss that have the least amount of losses. And then it is Empire and Power Rangers. They all, like, they're the 4 teams with the least losses. After that, it's going to go down to 4. So none of these teams can lose another game. Otherwise, you know, they have to hope that maybe Virtus Pro or NextKZ or Ahead still loses a game. And then they're still going to have a chance.
Yeah, it's very close for the side of Empire right now. And I've got to say, that game, I mean, I wouldn't say it's an outdraft by MYM, because obviously you pick up a Necrophos, you put him in a laning situation he struggled in, but they executed their draft perfectly, and they had a very smart game plan as well, which was to use that Necrophos in a push strat. I think that's a great pickup for them. I really do think this is a great draft from the side of MYM, because the thing is it takes so long to kill somebody on their team that they can throw out that Reaper Scythe, and without your Lycan, you can't punish them 5-manning. And that's what happened in that last fight. He wasn't able to buy back. He's got like a 100-second cooldown. From that point on, MYM just walk in the base, and that's when Empire had to call it, because if you lose your Lycan there, you lose the game.
Yeah. Fully agree. Of course, as already mentioned, this was our last match of the evening. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in. Tune in tomorrow again. We're going to start at 4 p.m. By the looks of things, we're going to start off with another game for Rockskiss. They will be fighting up against PGG's team, Dream Team 168. And then one extra match at 1800 CST time. Yes, that seems to be an hour break there, with Empire taking on Aware. Might still change something in the schedule though, as the schedules for this tournament have been a bit flaky and a bit last minute. So keep your eyes peeled for updates all coming through to my Twitter, which is @ShiverGaming. Make sure to follow that. And of course also big shout out to my co-caster G-Advance, whose Twitter is @JossWilkinson. Or
what a great name.
What a great name. @JossWilkinson1 actually. But you might be better off following him on twitch.tv/setmygibs with a double B at the end. Make sure you do that as well. Any last words before we head out?
No, just thank you very much for having me on. I'm really enjoying this, because this tournament's actually going down to the wire here, and MYM are having like a fairy tale story here. They have not lost a game. That is like...
the opposite of the Dream League?
That's great for them. Yeah, I was going to say, it's the opposite of the Dream League. I mean, maybe the competition in the Dream League is that a little bit harder, but this has been an exciting tournament. Like, very, very close, some of these games. Especially today, and what a draft from MYM. They pick up Necrophos,
and they're
the only team to do that. Yeah, they pick up Necrophos and actually win with it as well. I can't, like, that's not a normal thing.
Very enjoyable to watch, and of course, yeah, be back tomorrow again. Stay tuned for watching commercials if you want to support us that way, but otherwise just have a great night. There is still plenty of Dota going on, if I'm correct, where you can watch and enjoy your dose of Dota 2. That was a slight hint there, but yeah, thank you for watching and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.